foreign investment has and will continue to be absolutely critical to Australia's economic prosperity. 1 in 10 Australian jobs are created by foreign investment. Foreign investment brings skills and expertise to our country. And foreign investment has benefited every sector of the Australian economy, from mining to agribusiness, financial services to tourism. Of the nearly $4 trillion of foreign investment in our country, more than 20% comes from the United States, more than 10% from each of the United Kingdom and Japan, and a little over 5% from China. Our foreign investment regulatory framework has always sought to strike a balance between, on the one hand, welcoming and inviting foreign investment to this country, but on the other, ensuring that those foreign investment proposals that succeed are in our national interest. But technology has been evolving, and our geopolitical climate has become more complex. In fact, the world over, governments are seeing foreign investment being used for strategic objectives, not purely commercial ones. And many other nations, including many other like-minded nations, including the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, New Zealand and many others, have made reforms to their foreign investment framework. And as the Prime Minister said, today's reforms build on reforms that he and previous Treasurers have made. Today's reforms to our foreign investment framework are the most significant since the establishment of the Act in 1975. And these reforms are supported by the head of the Foreign Investment Review Board, David Irvine, a former security agency head, but also a very distinguished diplomat. And as the Prime Minister said, these reforms have been worked on for some time and the product of considerable consultation within government and beyond. The reforms fall into 3 key areas. The first is that we are creating a new national security test. Foreign investors, not just foreign government investors, should be subject and will be subject to the Foreign Investment Review Board review when they are investing in what is termed a sensitive national security business. Now, the exact businesses to be covered by that term will be the subject of consultation, but it is expected to include businesses in the telecommunications sector, businesses that are covered by the Security of Critical Infrastructure Act, including energy and sensitive utilities businesses, businesses within the defence supply chain, and businesses that collect, store and own data that is critical to Australia's national security and defence. The Treasurer will also have a new power where he or she can call in an investment if it creates a national security risk and if that business is not covered by that definition I talked about earlier. And the Treasurer will also have a last resort power to vary or to impose conditions, or as a last resort to force a divestment in a very limited number of exceptional cases. For example, where there is a material misstatement by the applicant at the time of their application for foreign investment approval, or where the activities of the acquired business change substantially and create national security risks. The second significant reform is around strengthening our compliance and integrity framework, strengthening our penalties and our enforcement regime. Over 80% of foreign investment by value last year had conditions attached. The Foreign Investment Review Board has currently more than 1,000 conditional approvals on their books. We need to have the requisite penalties to ensure compliance, and we also need to have the resources in place to monitor and ensure compliance. The third set of reforms, bearing in mind that we are competing internationally for capital, is that we're streamlining the approval process for passive investments by foreign governments where they are partnering with private capital. There is trillions of dollars being invested by such funds where foreign governments, through their entities, are partnering with private capital, and where those investments are in non-sensitive sectors, we want to streamline and speed up that process. The government will be releasing next month exposure draft legislation, and the intention is to have that legislation passed before the end of the year and put in place from the 1st of January next year.